In 2019, there was a migrant caravan headed towards the US border. And I'm telling you, nothing made Donald Trump more apoplectic than if he turned on the news and he saw hundreds or thousands of people marching towards the US border to claim asylum. And so in one of those incidents, we got a heads up from the White House. We got a phone call over the Department of Homeland Security, and a senior aide to the president said, "Hey, I think you guys need to get over here. The president is talking about invoking the Insurrection Act. He wants to deploy the military and fully seal the U.S. border." Okay, I'll tell you why. Even if you believe we need to crack down on illegal immigration, I'll tell you why that's wrong. Because the Insurrection Act is only supposed to be invoked in cases of invasion or rebellion. And we neither thought this was an armed foreign invasion of a foreign country nor a domestic rebellion in the United States. And therefore, our lawyers felt like, yes, it would be unlawful for the president to go send thousands of U.S. troops down there. So we rush over to the White House. The president is in the map room preparing for the State of the Union address. And he wants to insert language in there, basically announcing that he's going to go do this troop deployment. I won't walk you through the whole story, but suffice to say, we spent hours going back and forth between the White House counsel's office and the president, and finally got him to understand that this would be an extraordinary escalation and that he would probably lose in the courts. But more importantly, it would set a really dangerous precedent for him to be personally directing U.S. law enforcement around the country. So we talked him out of it. But after that, Ryan, I had a lot of fear that in a second Trump administration, there wouldn't be people that would advise Donald Trump not to do that. And he would get his way to go deploy troops, and that it wouldn't stop at immigration enforcement at the border, that he would go into U.S. cities with U.S. troops. And it wouldn't stop at immigration enforcement in those cities, that he would potentially have the opportunity to intimidate protesters and try to enforce other U.S. laws personally, and that it would be a slippery slope into quasi-autocracy. And I warned about that extensively in 2020 and in the lead up to 2024. And this seems to be precisely what Donald Trump is now doing. He's executing the playbook that he was prevented from executing last time.